Shri Praveen Parashar, who is the General Manager, Business Development, STHL, Crane Systems India Private Limited. So let's put our hands together to welcome Shri Praveen Parashar.
Hello everyone, I'm Praveen Parashar, representing PAF Silver Blau here. And being part of a global corporation, Columbus McKinnon, just to give you a brief overview of what all we do. Columbus McKinnon Corporation is like all type of lifting solutions you can have here, starting from automation, conveyance, lifting, or linear motion. You have this whole complete solution here, and you will recognize some of the brands we have put up on the top. These are all our portfolio. And as you see on the right top corner, our major business comes from lifting solutions, including hoist, cranes, and all. And then around 10, 13, and 16% business from linear motion, automation, and conveying solutions. That's our global footprint. We are operating 21 manufacturing facility in 7 countries, which is increasing. This year we are increasing it around 20-30% and operating across 50 plus countries in the world. Come back to PAF Silver Blau, the topic of today's presentation. A very long history, starting with 1867, which started with Thread and Needle Company, and then we moved on to PAF Silver Blau in 1972. Interestingly, in 1960s, we made our first underfloor lifting system in Nuremberg Depot. I mentioned already that one of that system is still working today. You can still see, I will show you the photo. Right side you see a photo of that original system built in 1960s, and that is still in use. So we'll come back to what exactly we are trying to discuss or to bring it to the discussion. The whole aim of our company is to bring the global standards while doing the indigenization of the components. Make in India initiative, obviously that's the government focus. So what do we do? It's not just about products that we bring in, but are we bringing the right experience? That's first point. The second point that immediately comes in, whether in the name of experience, are we doing it too expensive? Or does it fit the bill of the local industry, local market? Because we cannot claim to be too expensive in the name of experience. And then, third point, are we on the expectation lines of the customer? So that's my whole point, whether we fulfill the expectation of customers, whether customers feel that we have fulfilled that expectation, and is he satisfied? If all three is not fulfilled, then whatever experience we may have, or whatever technology we may have brought, it will never fill that gap. So that's why we are working with this structure in India at the moment. We are only OEM in the world, in India at the moment, from this product line, who is directly participating. These are some of the product portfolio that we are doing in India at the moment, including underfloor lifting system from Pune Metro. You see the photo. The mobile jacks, turntables, drop pit table. Roof working platform is one of the key equipment we are trying to introduce to Indian market, because still the roof maintenance or the top maintenance of the trains is still done by the ladders or the arrangements. So we are trying to bring in that technology now. We are already discussing with some of the stakeholders. And cranes, obviously. So what is the major challenge as the topic of the presentation in rolling stock? The whole idea is, I'm sure everyone will agree, is to make it reliable and safe by reducing the downtime. That's the whole subject of the rolling stock maintenance. But how do we incorporate this challenge with the aging infrastructure, which may or may not be adequate for the new technology to be incorporated? Here we definitely have the cost constraints. As I mentioned, in the name of experience, the product can be too expensive sometimes. So how do we incorporate that cost constraint with the technology? And while doing this cost constraint and aging infrastructure accommodation, how do we ensure safety and compliances? So that becomes the key subject. But to start this whole discussion on a positive note, we already have seen that change happening in Indian landscape. This used to be the workshop some years ago, and now we have ICF workshops which look very different than it used to. So we are already changing. We already have implemented some of that aspect in our working. But what are specific challenges with Vande Bharat I would like to present, because that will give you the idea what kind of rolling stock challenges we are facing. We already are discussing, we heard from Niti Aayog, colleague from Niti Aayog and our senior colleagues from Railway Board, that we have this vision 2047, millions of budget and around 4,500 Vande Bharat coaches or 1,000 Amrit Bharat coaches are being introduced. Are we ready for the maintenance of all this? We see Vande Bharat train were introduced 2 years ago. It's almost 2 years now. And we still do not have a single depot ready for the maintenance. So how do we fill this gap? That will be the major challenge. This is from the Vande Bharat Sukur Basti depot, one of the first depot where we have already installed this system, the underfloor lifting system, and from there on we will present some of the challenges and learning we have done at Sukur Basti. One of the first thing that came up, interestingly, which is still not very clear with even the railway zonal teams, is what is the concept of the DTC and non-DTC coaches within Vande Bharat? What is really the main challenge? The issue is the design of Vande Bharat is such that DTC and non-DTC have a very different lifting positions. For some reason, the design was made as such that the DTC coach and non-DTC coach of the Vande Bharat has around 360 mm jack pad variation. Any underfloor lifting system is made for very precise dimensions. Now, a single project system is not supposed to have different jack pad location positions. It cannot lift. This came as a major challenge. This was one. You see the variation. And this was not even included in the discussions by the stakeholders, even from railway. So after the system was made only that even railway stakeholders realized that there is a difference between DTC and non-DTC coaches. I would present this data. We have measured around 4-5 trains now. Every rake of Vande Bharat is dimensionally different. This is one of the huge challenge that's going to be for any maintenance equipment in Vande Bharat depots, that every rake is different dimensionally and every coach of every rake is different. So it's not just that every train is different, but even every coach is different within the trains. Dimensionally, the jack pad is varying, bogie center is varying. That is, bogie center itself is varying from -20 to +25 mm. Coach to coach. And jack pad location is varying -55 to 60 mm. So that's almost 115 variation between two coaches. Overall variations goes around 400 How do we incorporate in our systems, be it us or any other manufacturer? That's the major challenge. So this was just to give you the overview. One of the solutions that we brought for this DTC and non-DTC coaches is to bring in this swivel-led design. This design can withstand angular load, and this can cover this 300-400 variation in the DTC and non-DTC coaches jackpad location. This is how it works. So it goes and it can rotate 360 degree. It can handle angular loads. So even if jackpad is, instead of being here, it's here, it can take this angular load and handle the coaches. This was one of the implementation. Now you see that with the middle photo is what this swivel head was supposed to look like. This is the working. From the normal body stand, this was changed to this. But after this was implemented, we found there are more challenges. For example, there are brackets near jackpad location which is not in the drawings. So what do? We modify again the swivel head. Then there are some square brackets now to bypass these brackets. Once we do that, we realize because the length of the trains and coaches are varying, we will have to do it both the sides, not just one. Then we have challenges in terms of the infringements around the jackpad. You see the stairs, you see the pipes, you see the brackets, which are all near the jackpad location. I'm not trying to bring in too much technical detail, but the idea is when we are doing so much rolling stock manufacturing and the plan is to manufacture so many coaches and rakes within a very short span of time, if the standardization is not done quickly, it will become too big a challenge to maintain the same racks. This is one of the reasons several of the depot planning has not been able to implement itself. The finalizations has not happened because the zonal railways are struggling with these challenges. How to incorporate it in the design. Again, one more challenge because of bogie center variation was this. You see bogie center, the jack pad you can see and the body stand you can see. So to incorporate again to mitigate this, we again had to remodify, the body stands had to be modified, enlarged. In the right photo you will see what happens when the coach length and bogie centers are varying. So at one corner you are totally at one end and at the other end of the train you are at the other end. So a very simple task like a train placement by a center itself becomes a challenge. That center driver will have to ensure that you are placing the train in millimeter tolerances. Idea is we are investing so much money in this kind of equipment. The whole idea is to reduce the downtime, to reduce the manpower required to do the maintenance. But instead of doing that, if we end up increasing the manpower because they have to coordinate, ensure if the train is placed correctly, if the train is being lifted at correct positions, and that all will take time. So if we end up adding time in maintenance and manpower, does it serve the purpose to invest? And if we do not use these technology, how do we maintain the Vande Bharat? You cannot do it earlier as we used to in LHB coaches. We used to do like a single coach using drop pit table or other things. Single coaches will be maintained. Something like the train 18, you cannot do that because that decoupling and coupling exercise is huge exercise. It's a time-taking process. So you need something that can lift the whole train, where you can do it once. Instead of 16 car, maybe you will do 8 car. But you cannot go 4 car, 2 car, 1 car. Then that doesn't serve the purpose. This is after the successful commissioning, you see the people doing the trials. This is the successful trial. This is one of the solutions that we have already been proposing to the stakeholders, including Railway Board and the team, that instead of going for the standard pit jacks, they can go for the adjustable type pit jack. The advantage of these kind of system, they can handle multiple rolling stock with multiple jack pad locations at once. So the same system can be used to handle LHB also, Train 18 also, ICF coaches also. So instead of having 3 depots for 3 different type of rolling stock, you can have one centralized depot for all this type of rolling stock. You may have to invest at once a little bit more, but it solves this problem that we have been seeing on ground and the challenge in making this specification. Just to give you a very brief insight, you see centralized procurement has already increased from 14 to 44%. So we propose to stakeholders, why not these equipments, because these are cost incentive equipment, why can't they be centralized? Because zonal railways are struggling with this specification making. Most of the team is not aware of the challenges that is there with the Vande Bharat manufacturing. So if they can be done, they will reduce the downtime and they will save the cost. That's one of the point. And then it's not just a tool we often hear, and then just a pit jack, some screws and some motors. Or it can be any other equipment, but it's never just not just a tool. It's much more complicated than that. I think I will finish my presentation with that note. Thank you so much.